The unit price is the price that you pay per individual unit. This is the price per pound, the price per ounce, the price for sheep. This rate is very important for when we compare prices. In order to find the unit price, we need to know the item's total cost and the number of units, or the amount that's there. So we paid $41.10 for 30 pounds of turkey. To write this as a simplified fraction for our rate, it's $41.10, which is our dollar amount, per 30 pounds. So 41.1 over 30. As a good rule of thumb, the dollar amount usually goes in the numerator of a rate. To simplify this as a fraction, I need to turn that decimal into a whole number. If I move my decimal place over 1, I need to do it to the bottom as well. That'll give me 411 over 300. I can now look for a greatest common factor and try to simplify further. I'm going to leave my answer as an improper fraction, however, because I'm looking at rates. 411 and 300 do not have a GCF, a greatest common factor, so that's my simplified form. The decimal with proper fractions. In order to turn that fraction into a decimal, I need to take the numerator, divide it by the denominator. That'll give me 1.37, but it's not just 1.37. That rate of 411 per 300, or $4 or $41.10 per 30 pounds, represents dollars per pound. So the final unit needs to be dollars per pound. For butter, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our total price, the total units. So I have $2.76, and I have 1 pound of butter. I'm going to set it up as a simplified fraction. Dollar amount goes up top. I need to simplify. I can't have decimals in my rate. Can't have decimals in fractions at all. So I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. So I need to move the bottom number, or my denominator, 2 places to the right as well. That's going to give me 276 over 100. At this point, we need to find a greatest common factor. We can do that by using the guess and check method, or either the single or double mountain method. Those methods help you find your factors in order, so that way you can compare the two lists of factors or divide against the other value to find the common factor. In this case, the GCF, greatest common factor, is 4. Divide top and bottom, I get 69 to 25. This is $69 for every 25 pounds of butter. So I'm going to turn that into a decimal, divide it out. 69 divided by 25, and since it's $69 for every 25 pounds, my value, or my final answer, is $2.76 per pound. Pause the video, try the next 2 problems on your own. When you're ready, hit play, and we'll briefly go through the answers. We're going to follow the same process. Find our total cost, our units, set it up so it's cost per unit. If I need to move the decimal to simplify, that gives me 19 over 60. Look for a GCF. There isn't one in this case. To turn it into a decimal, divide numerator divided by denominator. That's going to give me a rate of 32 cents per 1 ounce. I know it's 32 cents per 1 ounce because the numerator is dollars, the denominator is ounces. Same thing with pepper, $1.85 for 6 ounces. Dollar amount goes up top, the unit goes down below. Move the decimal over. It's a lot easier to simplify when you have whole numbers. Gives me 185 over 600. If I divide top and bottom by a GCF of 5, I get 37 over 120. To turn it into a decimal, divide it straight out. I'm going to get 32 cents per ounce. Let's apply our knowledge of percentages, rates, and proportions in order to solve the next couple of example problems. The turkey in our example grocery list weighs 20 pounds. Your family eats 82% of the turkey at dinner. How many pounds did they eat? In order to find what percent they ate, I take the total amount times the decimal version of the percent. Percentages are great for communicating values. Decimals are better for calculating. So to turn 82% into a decimal, I either divide by 100 or move my decimal 2 places to the left. Multiply that by my original value to get 16.4 pounds. This is the amount of turkey that the family has eaten. If I want to know how much is left, I can take 20, the original amount, minus the amount that was eaten. Your family ate this much turkey in 2.3 hours. What was their rate of consumption? We want to find pounds per hours. So this case, I just want to put it as a rate with a denominator of 1. So that's a decimal. So I'm going to set up my rate. 16.4 pounds in 2.3 hours. Unless it asks you to simplify the fraction, I can just simply move forward. I'm going to divide that out. 16.4 divided by 2.3 gives me 7.13 pounds per hour. That's the rate that the family ate the turkey. If they ate at the same rate of consumption, how many pounds of turkey would your family eat in 1.5 hours? Whenever you have to take an assumed or understood rate, ratio, or even probability and predict another outcome based on another given value, you're setting up a proportion. So in this case, I have my original rate, 16.4 over 2.3. Again, unless it asks for a simplified fraction, it's okay to use it because we'll be calculating with it. We're not communicating with it. 16.4 is the number of pounds. 2.3 is the number of hours. So when I set up my proportion, I'll put 1.5, the number of hours, in the denominator as well. If it helps, label the numerator and denominator. Label what units or what variables they represent. When I have a proportion, I cross multiply. 16.4 times 1.5 divided by 2.3 gives me 10.7 pounds. Think about what this value represents. This represents how much turkey they would eat in 1.5 hours. Check if it's a reasonable answer. 1.5 hours is less than 2.3 hours, so 10.7 pounds is a reasonable answer. It's less than 16.4 pounds. These questions are a small sampling of examples that look and act just like the problems you'll take on your assessment tomorrow. If you don't feel confident with this video, with these questions, rewatch it, review it, go back and look at the learning targets that this video covers. Go rewatch the videos that are related to those specific learning targets.